Supporting us. So, hey guys, thank you for clicking on this extra here. We have a topic. Dr. Hunter introduced me to a condition called Candida overgrowth. Is that how you say it? Candida?
Yeah, Candida or Candida. I think the pronunciation differs based on region.
Okay,
But
so
yeah, Candida overgrowth.
okay, and she introduced me to this idea, so I just wanted to share, and she wanted us to be more informed about this condition. So if you can just take the floor and tell us a little bit about it, what it is, who's at risk, is it preventable?
Right. So this is a health topic that is really interesting to me because it's based on a basic chemical fundamental, which is acid-base chemistry. So Candida helps with digestion and nutrient absorption, and so Candida is just a more technical term for yeast. But whenever this yeast is overproduced, it becomes an issue. So Candida is a fungal infection caused by yeast that live in the mouth, throat, gut, and vagina, and it can grow out of control. So whenever it grows out of control in the mouth, that's called thrush. So a lot of babies, whenever they're born, they typically suffer from thrush. Whenever it's in the vagina, that's your typical vaginal yeast infection. However, what happens is the yeast is growing in our gut, and whenever it overgrows, it can basically break down our intestinal walls and start to enter into our kidney, even our heart and our brain, and it can cause a lot of issues. Would you like for me to go into some of the issues that it causes?
Yeah, I mean, real quick run through, that'll be cool.
Cool. So a lot of symptoms of Candida, whenever you're suffering from it, you can have skin and nail infections like chronic acne, your nails are ripping and tearing. There's a lot of chronic fatigue, digestion issues, lack of focus, vaginal infections like your common yeast infections become more frequent to the point where you feel like you don't understand why you can't cure them.
And that's interesting too. That may be why yeast infections are so prevalent and that you can't really
Yes.
it's so hard to get rid of them because it's something that's deeper than just the
So much
vagina.
right. That's why I want Black women to learn about this topic so much more. And so it also increases your cravings for sugars and refined carbs. But that's because typically whenever that what's initiating that Candida overgrowth is whenever you have a diet high in carbs and sugar, which is oftentimes found in the Black community, whenever you have high consumption of alcohols, also whenever you're on birth control. So the hormone change can also affect the Candida overgrowth. And then if you're taking too many antibiotics, which we know the antibiotics kill the friendly bacteria. And so just these issues alone, I feel like a lot of people are suffering from, chronic fatigue, or they're suffering from vaginal yeast infections that they feel like they just won't go away and stuff of that nature. And they're not understanding that it's because they're having that yeast overgrowth in their gut. And that's because the yeast like I said before, it's an acid based type of reaction. So yeasts don't like acidic environments, but currently what's being pitched is a highly alkaline diet, which there's nothing wrong with that.
And that,
But
just for those who don't know, that means like basic, kind of like a
yeah,
very basic diet. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So if you're not careful about ensuring that your stomach acid is at optimal levels, then you can begin to suffer from the yeast overgrowth.
Mm-hmm. So I guess the way to prevent it is primarily diet, or
Yeah. So what I do to prevent it is I know people have been hearing about taking that apple cider vinegar shot in the morning whenever you wake up. That just ensures that you're priming your gut whenever you wake up in the morning with that acidic environment that you need to kind of kill any chance of that yeast doing overgrowth throughout the day.
mm-hmm. Okay. Is there anything else we should know about the condition that you know about?
Um, Honestly, just be aware of it.
Yeah, awareness is important.
Yeah, I think I was suffering from it, and it does affect, like, I was just extremely tired and all of that stuff. And then whenever I found out about it, and I actually started changing my diet to a more healthy diet and kind of eliminated the sugars and stuff, it all went away. And it's like you hear people saying, "Oh, I went vegan and this disappeared, and I went vegetarian." a lot of the times that's like those diets are changing it, but usually it's because you're actually converting to just a healthier diet in general, and you're eliminating those excess sugars that's causing that yeast to overgrow. So yeah, being vegan is probably making you feel better, but it's also probably because you're getting rid of that overgrowth of yeast in your body.
Okay. Thank you for sharing this with us. Now we understand and our attention has been brought to this condition. So if anyone has any additional questions about it, what should we do? Google. Google
Yeah.
is a tool because we are not certified in any way, shape, or form as it relates to this thing. But thank you for now being aware of it, and we'll holler at you next episode.
Definitely.